What does it mean to be a father? What does it mean to come of age without a father? These questions have been at the centre of many Steven Spielberg films. Both light entertainments and dark historical dramas have considered them. The director's evolving views on fathers and fatherhood are on surprisingly vivid display in the Indiana Jones series, which were produced by his longtime friend and Star Wars mogul, George Lucas. Taken as a whole, the films feel like markers in Spielberg's maturation. Although they play as thrilling, goofy diversions, they clearly illustrate the notion that the child is father to the man.
Two sets of prints.
Same size, could have been the same person twice.
Not bad, kid.
Raiders of the Lost Ark introduces us to Indiana Jones. Indy holds a position of authority at the university, but were it not for the fact that he's somewhat older than most of his charges and stands at the front of a classroom, he could be mistaken for a student.
And this accounts for the holes dug all over the barrow and the generally poor condition of the find. However, chamber 3 was undisturbed, and the undisturbed chamber and the grave goods that were found in another in the area give us
There is no clear parental figure or even parental influence in the film. Indy is in his late 30s, but has no visible entanglements.
They want you to go for it.
Oh, Marcus!
He even seems to treat his home merely as a crash pad, a base of operations. When Indy decides to go looking for the Ark of the Covenant, he is cautioned by his older colleague of its power, the power of God, the ultimate father. Indy's response is a blithe dismissal.
Well, I mean that for nearly 3,000 years, man has been searching for the lost Ark. Not something to be taken lightly. No one knows its secrets. It's like nothing you've ever gone after before.
Oh, Marcus! What are you trying to do? Scare me? You sound like my mother. We've known each other for a long time. I don't believe in magic, a lot of superstitious hocus pocus. I'm going after a find of incredible historical significance. You're talking about the boogeyman. Besides, you know what a cautious fellow I am.
In later films, we will learn that Indy has taken on the vocation of his father as a way to impress and then one-up the old man, a stern and distant academic. In Raiders, Indy is presented as almost a runaway kid, a grown-up Bowery boy who doesn't give much thought to others. He possesses the shallowness of youth, complete with a cliched woman in every port. He's a heartbreaker, this one. The most uncomfortably adult moment in the film might be the scene where he re-encounters his great love, Marion. Their affair ended badly enough to drive Marion to go tend bar in the Himalayas. We learn that he loved and left her cruelly, and that she was much younger than he was.
Hello, Marion.
There's an unsavory hint of cradle robbing.
Indiana Jones. Always knew someday you'd come walking back through my door. I never doubted that. Something made it inevitable. So what are you doing here in Nepal?
I need one of the pieces your father collected.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
I never meant to hurt you.
I was a child. I was in love. It was wrong and you knew it.
You knew what you were doing.
Now I do. This is my place. Get out! Mohan, Temigru, Bulianu. Not the man I knew 10 years ago.
It's not the years. It's the mileage.
Good Sue was with Faye while long till out dong what song so that song you ding about anything goes.
Although chronologically it's a prequel, the hard-edged Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is actually a direct continuation of Spielberg's coming to terms with adulthood.
What's that?
Antidote. To what? The poison you just drank up.
Made on the eve of his marriage to Amy Irving, a marriage that would eventually end in divorce, and a second marriage to Temple of Doom co-star Kate Capshaw, Spielberg channels the hesitation that can paralyze some men when deciding to make the ultimate commitment.
Lau!
You keep Go. I find another.
The entire movie positions Indy in relation to various configurations of family, good and evil, functional and dysfunctional. The film is dotted with images of fathers, from the Chinese gangster Indy barters with, to the dignified general who protects the palace,
And Dr. Jones, I presume.
to the numerous guards in the Thuggee cult. And the entire story is infused with a son's primal fear that his father will fail him, and a father's primal fear that he'll let his wife and children down. The movie finds the hero slowly forming his own bickering makeshift family, with Indiana Jones as reluctant, grouchy father, nightclub singer Willie Scott as mother, and orphaned pickpocket Short Round as their son. Early in the film, we're casually informed that Short Round's parents were killed in a bombing. Willie could be a gold-digging female equivalent of Indy, an eternal teenager who's mainly interested in having fun and acquiring nice things. Three people who are used to living alone and relying only on themselves are thrown together and forced to depend on each other to survive. Their trivial concerns will be beaten and burned out of them in the Indiana Jones film, which for long stretches is essentially a horror movie. When Indy, Willie and Short Round come across a village, they discover all of the children have been kidnapped and forced into slave labor in the mines of the Thuggee cult. In effect, the bad guys in this film have made the entire village childless and turned all the kids into orphans by kidnapping them.
Don't drink,
The image of the cult is like a child's nightmare made real, as it consists of nothing but horrible, evil fathers. When Indy is forced to drink a potion, he comes under the spell of the cult, and his behavior is that of an abusive, alcoholic dad.
Indy, I love you! Wake up, Indy! Wake up! You're my best friend! Wake up, Indy!
Wait! Wait! He's mine.
I'm all right, kid.
When he directed the movie in the summer of 1983, Spielberg was edging up on 40. Star Harrison Ford was actually turning 40, and George Lucas was dealing with the fallout from a painful and costly divorce. There's a sense of looking backward on innocence and forward towards something darker.
Baby! Baby!